Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
A local healthcare provider is finally back up. CentroMed says it is back online more than 2 months after its computers were hacked. It's a problem we've heard about from patients since early May. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas has been all over the story, making calls, emailing CentroMed for answers over the last 9 weeks. John Paul, we talked about the patient frustrations. That was clear. You talked to the vice president in May, who talked about some of the expectations, but we found out that they were back up via email. What's the latest on this whole thing?
That's right. And the biggest news is that CentroMed says their computer systems are back up and running. So what does that mean for patients who say they've struggled to make appointments, refill prescriptions, and get their medical records? CentroMed tells us patients can now do all of that. But for one patient, too much time has passed.
The fact that it's been 2 months and they don't know what was taken, I don't buy that either.
We followed up with Mike Fraunfelter, a CentroMed patient who spoke to me earlier this week. He was frustrated after I read him CentroMed's statement that says in part, quote, "We do not know precisely what data was potentially affected," adding, "We have no evidence that the patient data was used or that any patient or associate is at a greater risk of fraud." CentroMed says the April 30th hack on its computers put the data of nearly 400,000 current and former patients at risk.
We had 2 months with no communication from them about any of this. It was all spurred by us trying to contact them. Doesn't give me a lot of hope that the problem won't happen again.
CentroMed has already faced a similar situation when its servers were accessed by an unauthorized party in June of 2023. Now the clinic plans to, quote, "have continuous monitoring of attempts to unlawfully access our systems and start using multi-factor authentication."
Just your thought that it took not one, but two massive incidents for them to get that security measure.
Yeah, that's nuts. I'd lose my job if somebody stole information from one of my clients.
Patients have reported problems getting appointments, prescriptions refilled, and even their medical records. CentroMed's statement says the data breach affected operations agency-wide, adding,
"However, safely caring for patients remains our highest priority. Despite restrictions on the use of the electronic medical record, CentroMed has remained open and patients have been receiving care."
That was not my experience. They said walk in. I walked in. I needed a paper referral, a piece of paper that says, "Mike, you can go see your cardiologist that you've been seeing for 2 years." This is not new stuff. And they couldn't do it.
CentroMed explains it can now schedule appointments and handle records and refills, but there could be some delays due to a high volume of requests. For Fraunfelter, it's too late.
I've already switched doctors, right? So I'm just went out of the CentroMed area, found somebody else that was covered on my Blue Shield, and I'm good to go.
Now, CentroMed is still asking anyone who believes they're experiencing identity theft to call their toll-free line. That's 888-990-8424. That line is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Steve?
Hopefully this puts an end to this whole saga, but we'll still be watching. Thanks, John Paul. All eyes on Beryl tonight. Officials in parts of South Texas preparing for the potential impact as the storm continues to advance. Cameron County in the pathway of the storm. That's in the South Padre Island area. Right now, people staying at parks in that area who have an RV or a large vehicle being asked to get out, to leave. Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino Jr. releasing a statement that reads in part, quote, "At this time, we are not requiring guests to evacuate, but want to make sure all precautionary measures are taken," end quote. Tonight, sandbags being distributed in Brownsville, McAllen, and South Padre Island. Meanwhile, at least 7 people dead in the Caribbean as a result of this storm. A video from Montego Bay in Jamaica actually shows powerful wind gusts blowing through the area. And in Union Island, you can see the aftermath right here. Homes and buildings ripped apart. Adam Caskey joins us now. Adam, I think many here in San Antonio wondering, will Beryl make her presence felt here in San Antonio?
And yes, I do think the presence will be noticed in the form of some rain. But I really want to stress here, regardless of Beryl's exact path, the Texas beaches and the Texas coast will be impacted in specific ways, particularly Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday. High surf, we could be looking at waves 5 to 9 feet, rip currents out there. And here's the key too, coastal flooding. This again, It's late Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and of course, some passing showers. If you have plans to be at the beach this weekend, personally, I'd get off the beach by Saturday afternoon and then probably wouldn't go back until Tuesday. But even then, usually it's rather messy in the aftermath, even just with the elevated surf that's on the way. We'll take a close look at Beryl, its latest path from the Hurricane Center, and how it could impact us with rain in just a bit.
Like everyone, we're waiting to see exactly what's going to happen, where Beryl's going to land, and what kind of impact Beryl's going to have in Texas. The best thing we can do at this time is to just be prepared.
Being prepared before disaster happens. That's what the Salvation Army of Texas is doing right now. And while we don't know exactly what Beryl will bring, it doesn't hurt to be ready. Brad Mahar, you just heard from him with the Salvation Army. He says San Antonio is going to play a role in any readiness plan.
The Salvation Army of Texas is sending an incident command team down to just be in San Antonio. They're going to station in San Antonio so that way they can monitor the situation and be a little closer to any potentially impacted areas in Texas. We have our rapid response unit as well as our canteen truck, which is our bigger truck here in San Antonio. They are ready to go if needed.
Salvation Army gearing up, and of course we'll talk more about Beryl coming up a little bit later with Adam Caskey. But meanwhile, the wild weather still days away. The 4th of July, just a few hours. Many here in San Antonio are going to celebrate Independence Day big time. The night team's Zaria Oates shares what travel looks like ahead of the big day.
The bigger the holiday, the bigger those gas station demands get.
We're a 24-hour store, so there's a great demand for merchandise.
James Gunter is the general manager at the Flying J gas station on I-10 and Foster Road. And being on such a busy route, he's ready for all things holiday travel.
This is a huge shop.
AAA predicts about 70 million people will travel 50 or more miles over the 4th of July holiday. That's up 5% from 2023, and of those traveling, a projected 60 million people will drive, which means traffic.
Oh, lots of traffic. We ran into pretty good traffic in Houston, actually.
We've definitely seen a huge spike in sales, both in hot food sales, retail sales, as well as our cooler. Foot traffic has definitely impacted those areas.
And the expected increase of people on the roads for this holiday doesn't end until Sunday, July 7th.
It's picked up a little bit. It is picked up, but 35, of course, it's pretty busy all the time. But it has picked up.
So give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going.
Happy 4th of July.
Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
AAA has a family road trip checklist on their website for the 4th of July, including checking the height and weight requirements on car seats, packing an emergency kit with first aid, jumper cables, snacks, and of course, water. To other news on the Nightbeat, it was a court order that quickly turned violent. 2 Bexar County deputy constables are recovering tonight after they were attacked by a man they were trying to evict from an apartment. Happened just after 2:30 this afternoon on Gardendale Road near Wurzbach and Fredericksburg on the city's northwest side. The 2 deputy constables confronted that man as they tried to enter the apartment, and then they were attacked by the suspect.
That subject had a weapon of some type, and again, he engaged the officers, and they were injured in the process.
Both of the deputy constables were cut and taken to the hospital. Their condition is not known tonight, although it was believed that those injuries were not life-threatening. The suspect was taken into custody. An important recall we want to tell you about before the 4th of July and that barbecue you may be having. Hill Country Fair potato salad sold at H-E-B and Jovi's Smart Shop locations in Texas being recalled because they could contain hard pieces of plastic. Research Fine Food voluntarily issuing the recall. The affected products have a use-by date of July 26th. H-E-B says all impacted products have been removed from store shelves. If you have any of the potentially tainted potato salad, you can return it for a refund. It has reared its ugly head yet again. San Antonio being hit by another wave of COVID-19. Local doctors seeing cases climb. So far, they have not seen a spike in hospitalizations, though, just the positive readings. The summer season, no stranger to new strains of the virus. And this time, Dr. Jason Bowling with UT Health says the medical community knows more about COVID than they ever have before.
We have more information on how to track COVID, which is good, so we can know when to let people know that COVID's starting to go back up again. We also know that the vaccines are effective in preventing certain things.
Now, he does say if you're feeling sick, get tested. After that, you'll know if you need to isolate until the fever goes away. Still a lot of questions tonight about President Joe Biden and whether or not he will drop out of the presidential race. Tonight, the president says publicly he's not going anywhere. Multiple elected officials, including some within the party, have called on the president to step aside following that poor performance in the first debate against former President Donald Trump. President Biden vowing to stay in the race for re-election, telling his staff, quote, "No one is pushing me out," end quote. Looking ahead, the president will sit down with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos for his first interview since that debate night. Their conversation will now air during prime time. You can watch the ABC News exclusive interview this Friday at 7 p.m. right here on KSAT 12. Fireworks, a staple every 4th of July celebration, but not everyone willing to pay for the party. How much are you willing to spend on fireworks? We're also going to show you a display that went off tonight. It's next on the Nightbeat. All right, the 4th is tomorrow, but the party's already underway tonight. This is video from a fireworks show in Helotes just a couple of hours ago. Not bad. Let's get you ready to celebrate Independence Day tomorrow. And we have to let you know if you're someone that's planning on shooting off your own fireworks, it could come with a hefty fine depending on where you live. The use of fireworks in the city of San Antonio is illegal, could carry a fine of up to $2,000 for anyone who gets caught using them in city limits. Let's keep talking about fireworks, though. Now, they are available outside the city limits. So how much are you willing to spend? Firework bundle packs, usually a hot item come summertime, and depending on how big you want to go, you could expect to pay in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars for them. We recently went out to a fireworks warehouse. It's off Southland Road near I-37 to get an idea of the prices.
So these are around $4. The big bundle pack is $180, but it does come with a lot of different items, so it groups it down and really saves yourself some money on those.
$180? Meanwhile, other people simply aren't willing to pay top dollar for fireworks. Zaria Oates caught up with a customer at the Flying J gas station earlier today. Here's what she had to say.
What's the most amount you would pay for fireworks?
Wow, before you would get pretty much for $50. Now you get very less for $50. So I would not go past $100.
Yeah, but he's got a cool t-shirt. Beer, barbecue, and freedom. Right now, we want to hear from you. America, right? How much are you willing to spend on fireworks? You can head to ksat.com/poll. We're going to take another look tomorrow morning on GMSA at 5 a.m. But right now, you can see people are apparently willing to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of more than $100. It's pretty close there for a while, but kind of looks like it's either they're going really inexpensive with less than 20 or more expensive with more than 100.
All or nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you in or not?
Yeah, right. Now, my favorite as a kid, you know, the tanks.
Yes.
You light the back, and then they propel forward, and you point them next to, at each other.
Yeah.
That was always my favorite.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Or the worms that would like slither out, the snakes. Those were also pretty cool.
And they stained the concrete.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Couldn't clean them off. Okay, let's get to our rain chances because we do have some good news in terms of rain, and I don't foresee this being too much of a good thing, really, for our area. It's really, I think, what we could use. So Saturday and Sunday, a weak front drops into Texas, not barrel related, boosting our chances to 30%, isolated, even better in the hill country where we need the rain the most, Saturday and Sunday, okay? So anticipate some spotty showers periodically, especially in the hill country and isolated locally. And then up to 40% for now, Monday from barrel, Tuesday and Wednesday from subsequent tropical moisture. I'm liking what I'm seeing with the overall weather pattern post-barrel in terms of rainfall potential. And it doesn't look like anything from Amelia back in 1978. I had Edward reach out to me earlier asking, will this be like Amelia? No, that was 30 inches of rain in 2 days. This isn't going to be anything like that. Category 4 hurricane right now. It really hit the south shore of Jamaica earlier today, headed westward, likely to weaken a little bit more before making landfall on the Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 2, then Category 1 as it quickly weakens, and tropical storm once really interacting with the landmass and over the Yucatan Peninsula. By Saturday, it's over the Gulf of Mexico, and then it's likely to re-strengthen back into a hurricane as we get into Sunday, as it nears either the north coast of Mexico or the extreme southern coast of Texas. Right now, it seems like the most likely scenario would be somewhere near South Padre Island, so basically the Texas and Mexico border there, and that would be Sunday into Monday for that landfall. But the impacts that I talked about earlier along the Texas coast and Texas beaches starting Saturday night, especially if you plan to go to the national seashore, I'd get out of there before Saturday night. Otherwise, you could get stuck because of the coastal flooding. Here's a look at the spaghetti plots and see really in good agreement through the Yucatan Peninsula and even into the Gulf, and then that turn northward, most likely right near the Texas-Mexico border, down near Brownsville, South Padre Island, that area. Here's what's steering it. Upper level high, Big Blue H, we're all familiar, though it's not over Texas. It's moving over Georgia. And as it does that with the clockwise flow around it, that's going to help steer Beryl northward toward Texas, and of course its subsequent moisture. But here's the key. Beyond Beryl, after Beryl, we've got a bit of a log jam in the atmosphere right over Texas because of this next heat high over the desert southwest, which will bring them likely some record high temperatures this weekend into next week. This log jam in the atmosphere creates a bit of a call. That's what we call it, the COL. And it's going to trap this deep tropical moisture over Texas in the days ahead. And that deep tropical moisture, along with some energy, I do think will lead to some much needed rainfall. And it increases our rainfall potential a bit. I mean, if everything were to fall just right, we could see upwards of 5 to 7 inches in parts of our area over a 7-day span. That would be the ideal situation. Of course, closer to the coast, it can be a little too much of a good thing in a short amount of time. Hey, guess what? More of the same. Tomorrow and Friday, 4th of July, sunny right near 100 during fireworks. No hiccups, right near 90 degrees, just a little breezy. And then notice with those 40% rain chances, more clouds, the tropical moisture stuck in place. High temperatures back down near 90.
Yeah. And days of rain would be nice.
Well, that's the key. This isn't just 1 or 2 days like that, like Amelia back in 1978 that came in as a tropical storm, but hit the Edwards Plateau and Hill Country, dropped 30 inches. No. This isn't like that. This would be spread out over a few days off and on.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Of course, we'll continue to follow it throughout the holiday and the weekend. All right, Mary, you got a treat today. You got to meet a really tall guy who's very talented.
Yeah, very tall, much taller than me. Yes, Stefan Castle was a blast to talk to. We showed you a piece of our one-on-one interview with Castle at 5 o'clock today. We'll show you close to the full thing coming up after the break. Plus, Victor Wembanyama shines for the France national team. We'll show you the highlights coming up right up. San Antonio's newest guard, Stefan Castle, is a first-generation NBA player, but he still comes from a rich basketball background. His dad played college ball with Tim Duncan at Wake Forest. Earlier today, we went one-on-one with the jumbo guard that can do it all. Take a listen.
Coming from a basketball family, it's kind of easy for me to understand what they're saying and really embrace it because I know that their messages are only trying to help me. So. Really just, keep my head down, stay humble, and just really keep working.
So you chose to play for Dan Hurley at UConn, and it sounds like you fit in really well with the culture here in San Antonio. What do you value so much about tough coaching?
I never really ran away from tough coaching. I feel like it makes you a better person and a better player. And really the main thing with that is really just listening to the message that he was giving off, not really the tone that he was giving it off at. And, you know, I knew Coach Hurley was a really smart coach, and he was going to teach me how to win. So, you know, I kind of gravitated towards him, and it worked out for us.
And what do you look forward to in being coached by the winningest NBA coach of all time, Greg Popovich?
I can't wait to just, you know, pick his brain on a lot of things, learn from him. I mean, I know he's going to make me, you know, he's going to turn me into a much better player than, you know, I already am. And just, you know, the ability to be able to grow with, you know, such a high-level coach like that, I feel like it's, you know, an opportunity that any basketball player would, you know, would ask for.
Reflecting on this last year for you, Big East Freshman of the Year, a national championship with the Huskies, and now 4th overall with the Spurs. What does that all mean to you to accomplish what you've done in a year?
I mean, it's definitely a dream come true. You know, just looking at all the accolades just laid out, like it seems like a perfect scenario. But you know, I really just put my faith in God and, you know, just, you know, rely on, you know, my family with, you know, a lot of that stuff. And, you know, I just really try to stay humble, keep my head down. But, you know, it's definitely a blessing. It's been going by really fast, but, you know, the process has been super fun.
How do you feel about the current situation you're coming into with the Spurs? You have a generational talent to play with in Victor Wembanyama. All eyes are on the Spurs right now in the direction this franchise is headed, but also recent news of Chris Paul, a veteran leader, coming to join the team.
I mean, I love the state of our team. You know, to be able to play with, you know, a guy like Vic. It's, you know, our future is, you know, really, really bright. You know, I don't think I can speak too much on Chris Paul yet, but, you know, just, you know, to have the ability to learn from, you know, guys like him and, you know, the rest of the guys on our team is going to be super fun.
Great chat. All right, you can watch the full interview with Castle on ksat.com/sports. All right, you can never get enough Victor Wembanyama highlights, right? Wemby put on a show as the France national men's basketball team battled Turkey in an exhibition game. And Wembanyama, big dunk right there in the 4th quarter. He had a beaming stat line, 24 points, and when he was on the court, Turkey was 1 for 24 from the field. Meanwhile, Jeremy Sohan put forth a stout defensive performance in Poland's Olympic qualifiers lost today. The Olympics begin later this month. All right, after the break, 2 Astros named All-Star starters, and the Missions win big. Baseball fans have spoken. The tallest and shortest Astros are heading to another midsummer classic. Houston second baseman Jose Altuve and designated hitter Yordan Alvarez were announced as American League starters for the 2024 MLB All-Star Game. The Texas Rangers and Globe Life Field are hosting the action beginning July 16th. The Rangers didn't have any players selected as starters, but they will at least have one representative chosen as an all-star reserve. Speaking of, both Altuve and Alvarez had big performances in Houston's bounce-back 9-2 win tonight, and Texas beat San Diego 7-0 last night, but tonight they fall 6-4. Down south at Whataburger Field, Game 3 of the San Antonio Missions and Hooks series. It's a 1-1 ball game when San Antonio's Cole Cummings sends a sac fly to center, bringing in Zach Rex for the 2-1 lead. 5th inning now, Hooks fire the throw out to second. Tommy Sacco Jr. sends it right back, but not in time. Mission's Ray Patrick Ditter steals home, now up 7-1, and San Antonio goes on to win 7-3. Missions lead the series now 3-0, and this one is headed back to San Antonio for the 4th of July. All good vibes coming back home.
Fireworks after the game, I believe, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
It'll be a good time.
We'll be right back.
Now remember, there's going to be an impact to the Texas beaches no matter what, starting Saturday night and especially Sunday and Monday. We're talking high surf, rip currents, and some coastal flooding. So not the best beach days Sunday, Monday. And then it looks like odds are getting better for some periods of rain and showers and a few storms off and on next week. Now this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, that's 30% locally, slightly better chances in the hill country.
Thank you, Adam. Does it for the Night Beat. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great holiday.